Next up, we get the GBI expert. And I actually got the clip of this because y'all, we got to hear this. And I was actually so surprised that they would even call him based on them not having any evidence. I seen somebody on Twitter say they called him because they knew that they knew the defense was going to call him, so they just wanted to get it out the way. But to me, let's listen to it and then we can talk about it, right? This GBI expert just destroyed this whole thing. To me, I mean, because they use GSR. What's going on, House of Brands? They use GSR to say people did things. So now, if you're going to use this GSR now, and I don't have any evidence of it on me, now what we talking about? You understand? So, give me a second. Let's start playing it.
Hundreds or thousands, or you said maybe thousands, of particles. What is the threshold? I know that you said it's negative. The headliner was on each and every one of those tabs. When you looked under the scanning electron microscope with the beams, the electron beams, the result was negative. But what I want to know, what is the threshold for a positive?
We don't really use the word positive. It's just, is the GSR there or not? And all you need is just one particle to say that, yes, there are particles characteristic of GSR present on this surface.
So all you need is one particle under that scanning electron microscope with the electron beams to be a positive result.
That is correct.
And in this case, the result of that headliner was negative, meaning you did not even see one particle of gunshot residue on that headliner.
That is correct.
Now, think about this. We're talking about microscopic particles, right? If you think about like glitter, right? If somebody just had a handful of glitter and they blew it, it would go everywhere, and it would be almost impossible to clean it up. Like, it would take you a long time to clean it up. And even after years, you would still be seeing what's going on, Brandon, what's going on, Esquire. You would still see glitter in random places, right? If somebody just had a handful of glitter, and you could see glitter, right? So we're talking about microscopic GSR particles that form a little cloud, plume, and then they project in all directions. The state is trying to say, because we don't have any evidence that Shannon Stillwell did not wash the vehicle, then we can just say maybe there was some GSR there at some point. Because maybe he rolled his window down, shot out the window, no GSR would have came back into the vehicle, which is also unlikely, right? That's the reason that they test for GSR, because it goes everywhere. And it's hard to get rid of it in all places. The GSR expert, the GBI agent, even went so far as to say, if you have GSR in your clothes and you throw your clothes in the washer, we could still detect trace amounts of GSR in your clothes. It won't just come out like that. He said fabric is the best thing to test it in. And if you want to test the vehicle for GSR, testing the headliner is the best thing to test. They took the headliner out of Shannon Stillwell's rental white Audi. They didn't find a single particle. He said there only needs to be a tiny particle for it to for it to be considered like the existence of GSR. And the state wants us to believe that somehow Shannon was able to clean something that you can't even see. They want us to believe that not only did Shannon go home, wash his clothes, wash his hands, wash everything he owned, but that he also washed his headliner so good that not even a single particle of GSR remained. I don't know why they put this man on the stand. I mean, if your whole theory is going to fall apart, at least let it be from a defense witness, like a defense expert witness to come help them out. Why are you helping them make your argument? I don't really understand that at all. I mean, no. Why are you helping them make their argument for them with an expert witness? Now, if I'm on the jury and the man is like, yo, this stuff goes everywhere. It goes in all directions. It will go forward more, but it goes in every direction. And the headliner is the best thing to test. If I'm the jury, that right there just got Shannon Stillwell not guilty in the Shamel Drake's killing, right? This is the sickest part about it, right? The state actually does not seem to think Shannon Stillwell actually did it. The state charged people in both vehicles. They charged the people that was in the Audi and they charged the people that was in the Ford, right? They assumed, because this is how it normally works, they assumed that one of these guys is going to tell on the other guy, and we don't even have to investigate it, really. We're just going to charge everybody with murder, and then somebody's going to tell us who did it. The problem is we are at trial. We are at trial. Nobody has admitted to it, and nobody has told on anybody else in this murder. One of the guys has already gotten a no pros for the murder, right? One of the main suspects, which was who they saw on camera in the gas station with Shannon, right? They have already, so they got all these people charged. And this is the evidence that they have. And they was hoping that somebody was going to tell on somebody else. So now this is the situation a lot of people talk about all the time. When the police get you, all you got to do is be quiet. If they actually knew what was going on, they wouldn't charge everybody. They would just charge the person that did it. But the fact that they charged all these people in two different cars, how about this? If there's only one type of round that was shot into that vehicle and there's no shell casings, how are you charging two different cars worth of people for murder? That don't even really make no sense. That's how they railroad people, though. You know what I'm saying? When people want to ignore what's going on out here in the criminal and justice system, this is how they do it. I'm going to just charge everybody. We'll get to the bottom of it one way or the other, but the whole time, they didn't say, yo, let's put this case on hold until we get one of them to tell on the other one. They are going so far as to take it all the way to a jury without them even being able to tell the jury who did the shooting. Can you imagine? Yeah, Hilton is asking what if he opened the door, would the GSR be on the outside of the vehicle, whatever like that. This is the thing, Hilton. Y'all are charging these people trying to convict them. Why are you asking what if questions? Why don't you say what happened? Or why don't you establish what you think happened, what your theory is? She's throwing a reasonable doubt in the picture. Right? So this don't even make sense. How are you going to a jury with a case where you can't even tell the jury who did the shooting? You just about to charge everybody and the jury is supposed to figure it out. Or you just hoping that you can put somebody in prison because you can't figure it out. So hopefully I'm going to put you in prison for not telling. Y'all know that that's a thing too, right? Because you didn't tell on your friends, I'm going to put you in prison for it now. I know somebody that got 73 years for that, not telling on somebody. And they like the people that charged him knew he didn't do it, but they also needed him to tell on a gang member and he wouldn't do it. So they gave him 73 years in Virginia. Not a joke. They do that. Let me see what's going on, Nelson. Brenda said the APD have got to be the laziest force there is. They should be embarrassed. Yes. Yayo said, I'm snitching. It was Boyer in that third car that flew up behind. Brenda said, agreed. Vanderveer said, that's because they didn't know the tent would have bubbled, so now they claim you opened the door. That's the thing, Vanderveer. If they don't know these technical things about a shooting, why are we at trial for this murder? Y'all supposed to figure that out before you even charge somebody. And I said this a while ago. If you are black, they will charge you first and investigate later. If you're not black, they will investigate first and decide if they should charge you. This is what these dudes is going through. 4 of them got to go through this because they won't tell on whoever did it. The state didn't say, oh, if he rolled the window down, it would have bubbled up. So maybe we should drop this charge because he shouldn't have to plead guilty to that. It's impossible that he did that murder. Now, maybe it's obstruction of justice or an accomplice or whatever like that. Maybe you get that type of charge, right? But being charged with the actual murder when it's impossible that you did it based on the evidence and the state continuing forward with the charges, knowing the evidence doesn't support it, is horrible. It's a civil rights violation. And I'm not even just saying that these people is innocent of everything. I'm just talking about this one murder, Shannon being charged with this one murder. That's what I'm talking about, right? It's foolishness, right? Anyway, we get all of that just from that GSR expert coming up on the stand. That's all comes from that. And they're the ones that brought him up there. It really makes no sense. Then